Ready?
Okay.
All right. So, oh my gosh. So, all right. So last time
Mm-hmm.
we ended on. I know the last question I asked you was, um, is it hard for you to, convince people that investing, like investing in, the Yávé Music Co-op,
Mm-hmm.
um, like is it hard for you to do usually when when you get new members and you have to talk to them and kind of give them the spiel and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard? Is it like something that you always have a challenge
Yeah.
with?
Yes. It's not always a challenge
Mm-hmm.
depending on the person I'm talking to. Usually the people that have been part of a community of mine before,
Mm-hmm.
they're a little more they're understanding of the value of it. But I can even take it back to the wave. Like when I was charging people to join the wave
Oh yeah.
movement. The wave is just more of like a social community.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime you put the word community on something, people they usually have a hard time interpreting why that's worth money
Mm.
because nobody really feels like you should have to pay to be part of just a group of people.
Okay.
Like so I deal with a lot of just ignorance as far as understanding like what exactly is the money for.
Right.
So they're like, what does it come with? Like, what am I getting from just paying to join the community? So
Understood.
a lot of people they kind of they're skeptical.
Hmm. So, like, what do they usually say? Like, do they feel like you're just trying to get some money? Like, is that what they usually say to you? Because I know when you came to me, like, I'm just talking about my experience when, the first time we met and you
Mm-hmm.
told me about the wave community. And you said it was, I forgot what it was then,
$5 a
five
month.
dollars a month. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I I didn't have any type of reservations about it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, it's a community. I see what it is about. It's positive. It's great. He's gonna do events here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's really to me, to in my mind, even though you didn't even really like break it down to me, I was like, okay, me giving money every month is really investing in this community that he has. So when you have events or anything like that, that money will be used for that. If
Mm-hmm.
you need money to buy snacks or food for people, boom. If you don't want to require people to pay to go to certain, areas, then the money that you already made from the subscriptions will be the money that's used to pay for whatever it is, and people can just go in for free. So that's the way
And see,
I kind
so
of
a lot of
process it.
people don't
Hmm.
process value
Right.
in that kind of way. Like when they spend their money, they're expecting to get some type of
Yeah.
service or product in return.
Right.
It's like I'm giving you this. What am I gonna get?
Right. Makes sense. I mean, I,
But
I
with me,
get
it's like
that, but
I'm trying to rewire people's minds on what we invest in.
hmm
So being a creative, being an artist, um, people expect me to sell entertainment, but I don't want to sell people a show. So people are
mm,
quick to spend their money on a concert ticket
right.
because they're getting what are you getting for your money? You're getting a show.
Right.
I'm spending this amount of money. I'm gonna get to see such and such, and they're gonna perform for me, and that experience is gonna make me feel good, and I'm gonna be able to see a star, and it's gonna be
hmm Then I'm gonna go
exciting,
home.
and
Right.
then I'm gonna go home.
Right.
So like the entertainment is valuable to them, but then if you're a part of a community, which in my opinion that's what we're here to do is people, we're
Yeah.
social beings, everybody wants to connect. So no matter what the community with the Yave Music Co-op, it's more of a music community.
Yeah.
So I think the Yave Music Co-op has more selling points
Yes.
than just a normal social community
It does.
because
You're right.
in the Yave Music Co-op you get access to instrumentals. So there's a pool of right now like over 30 instrumentals that you're getting access to.
Mm.
So if you're a type of person that's thinking I want something in return, then okay, you could look at it.
I'm
The
getting
the
instrumentals.
$10 a month you pay as a songwriter, you're getting access to 30 plus, and it's going to be more instrumentals every month.
Right. That you can write on.
Hmm.
Exactly.
And then along with that, um, you're getting access to your greatest resource is other people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that I'm trying to get people to understand is the core part of community that's worth money is the access to people,
Networking.
relationships.
Yeah.
And no matter what you're doing in life, you need connections, you need people.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the thing I have to sell people on is just,
Gotcha.
getting them to understand that.
So do they usually is it like hard usually when you okay, so when they reject the idea or decline and then you give them this type of rebuttal, how do they respond usually? Like, is like, do a lot of people, they kind of like, nah, never mind, I'm not gonna pay, or a lot of people kind of like understand what you mean and then change their minds at
I
the end?
usually don't get to explain it this in depth.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, because like it's either like I'll reach out to people sometimes, like you know how you'll cold call somebody or cold
Yeah.
message somebody.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'll reach out to people randomly and pitch the idea. So sometimes it's a success, sometimes it's not. Sometimes people just don't get back to me. Like I'll explain it to them,
Hmm.
like what the co-op is about,
Okay.
what the community is about. Um, and what I get a lot of times is a lot of people show interest before I say anything about money.
Hmm.
They see the value in it.
Right.
Like, oh, that's dope. How do I join? So a lot of people they ready to join
Okay.
because they want to be in a music community. They want to write songs. It's opportunity to win money. So it's a lot of perks.
Yeah.
So
There is
the perks are there, and
definitely
they're interested up until the point where I say you're
the
gonna have
money
to
part.
invest some money to be part of it. And
Right.
then usually a lot of people just kind of ghost.
Hmm.
And that to me is just people are stingy with their dollars when they don't understand, like I said,
Right.
what is the
Like,
money
to
for?
them, it doesn't make sense,
It
or
don't,
it's not enough. I guess they're not getting enough out. To them, it's not enough to
yeah,
get out of it to pay for it. And
yeah.
it's fine. Like you said, some people will, because you do have a lot of members. So
Mm-hmm.
you do have a lot of people that understand the vision and are down for it, and they want to be in their YMC. They want to have fun. They want to collaborate with other people. Like, they want to do a lot of stuff. They want to get feedback. They want to get better at what they're doing. So that's all the stuff they're getting from it.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting you and other people that do music to give feedback, to rate their songs or their instrumentals. So I mean, I see it,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish more people would see it. But I think a lot of people do see it anyway. So I think you're gonna have two
Yeah.
sides. The side that's gonna be like no, and maybe over time they'll see. Like,
Right.
the more we grow, the more that the YMC grow, the more that they're gonna see the value.
Yeah.
So
So that's really what I try
yeah,
to do to
it's
sell.
the long game sometimes.
Yeah. What I do
Yeah.
to try and sell people on the idea is show the real life proof of what the communities are doing for people. So this ain't the first time I've built a
True.
community. So I'm working on just showing people the value of community through my experiences in running
Yeah.
communities.
Exactly. Now, so since we're talking about communities, so
Mm-hmm.
thank you for answering all that. We had to talk about
Come
it.
on now, we going in.
But yes.
We going in.
So now, since you said community,
Mm-hmm.
when did I start? Like, when did that like come into your mind, like into your brain? Like, oh my God, I want to start a community. Like, I just like you just woke up one day and was like, I just want to do stuff for people. Like, I just got to do something to like involve people
Yeah.
and get connected with other people.
Okay, so um, I'll take it back to grade school.
Okay.
I never ran a community in grade school,
Right.
but I was always a people person.
Okay. So sociable.
Like everybody liked me. I
Yeah.
was sociable. I could
Popular.
hang out with anybody. So
When you say grade school, what you mean,
like any time between
elementary,
elementary to
okay.
high school,
Okay.
anytime through grade school and college too. College was when I started my first online community
Gotcha.
officially. And
And I
the
remember
reason why I
seeing you
started
online.
it, my first community was called The Progression. And it was just a social community. The goal of the community slash movement was to unite the world. I was really on some change the world energy.
Okay.
And I still am on that type of energy. But the reason why I started the community is because I had a following for my music. I had fans.
Gotcha.
I had people on my MySpace that was into my artistry.
Yeah.
And they would want to chat with me. I had a chat box on my MySpace page. So every day I would go check my MySpace page. It would be people logged into my chat, waiting to like talk to me, or they might be talking to each other. And then when I log in, they're like, "Hey, Frenchie, what's up?"
Right.
So I started building these friendships with my fans.
Okay.
And
so
I didn't want fans.
Right. Now, the people on MySpace, were they like the college students too, or they were just people on like random?
It was young people. It was like
Okay.
a lot of my fans were younger than me because I was like early 20s.
Yeah.
MySpace had a lot of young people on it too.
Yeah.
And the chat room website that I was using, it was a lot of young people on that site, like teenagers, late teens. It could be middle school, high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of young people. They were either early 20s or in their mid-teens. It was like 14, 15, 16.
Wow.
All type
cool.
of young folks. So yeah, like they would show up in my chat box and want to chat.
Yeah.
And I didn't want them to show up just to talk to me. I saw the value in like, oh, so my energy as an artist has the power to bring people together.
And
So
music, yeah.
at the age of what was I, 21, I said, oh, I don't know when it actually clicked, but I remember when it clicked, my focus shifted away from just doing music, and I
Building community.
prioritized like building this community for these people, because that to me is more important than giving them some songs that they can bop to and sing to, and then
Or you can do it all together. You could wrap it all together, like you're doing now,
yeah.
through the music and the community, and
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. So that's when it kind of
Yeah.
clicked in your mind, like,
That's
oh, everybody's talking to me, everybody wants to get involved and interact and engage with me, so why not get everybody together?
yes.
And we can all be friends.
Exactly.
Pretty much, yes, I got you.
Yeah.
And that's how people should be,
I wanted to give them value. To go back to
Yeah.
the point, I feel like me providing a community is more valuable than me providing a concert.
Yeah. That's temporary.
It's temporary as fuck. Like, you go to a show, you're not even there for how long? You been to a concert?
Yeah, like 2-3 hours maybe tops. 3 hours tops. Unless it's a freaking like festival, then it
Come
might
on
be a little
now.
longer. But a concert, yeah, and they
Do-
usually be late.
Come on now.
You know that.
I done heard stories of
Yes.
artists not even showing up
They
to the
be
show.
late, yeah.
Do you talk to people at the concert? Have you ever just, is it an interactive experience?
I mean, if you're a sociable person, yes.
And how many people go to
concert
a
to
place
talk to other people?
a place where it's a bunch of people? How many or what percentage of people are actually ready and willing to talk to people that they don't know?
Mostly don't. Most
Exactly.
people don't. They just want to
You
enjoy
come
the
with-
concert.
exactly.
You come with your people,
Exactly.
and that's it.
Because if you look at how a concert is set up, you got the audience, and where all the seats are focused on one central point, right? So that means all these thousands of people are there just to look at one thing, and they doing this with each other. They walking over each other. They not really making friends. Nobody's there trying to be social.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not cool with that type of world, and I just think artists have a bigger responsibility to really like do something for the people. Like, it is about community.
Yeah.
That's
and
what
use
it's
your
about.
gift. Yeah, use your gift. Everybody loves music. Like I said, like we were talking one time, I was like, yeah, music. I never heard nobody say I don't like music. Like you would never hear that. It don't matter what type of music people like. Everyone loves music.
It's the universal language, baby.
Everybody loves music. So it's like it's impossible not to be able to use music to gather everybody together. If you don't want to, that's you. That's your problem. But but it's the easiest thing to do. So I think that idea came out of your brain is like amazing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna just keep growing. So
yeah, and it's just a process of just continuing to stick to it.
Yeah.
And it's a hard journey because we live in a world where you need money.
Right. Yeah.
And when you're trying to monetize something that people don't understand and to be worth money, you just got to do a lot of convincing and just stick to your guns.
Yeah.
So.
Now, would you say that while building all these communities that you had, and even now, is there ever a time when you were building the community that you felt defeated or deflated, like maybe that's not my vision, maybe I need to do something else? Like, have you ever felt like that, like you wanted to like quit doing that and do something else?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Because it don't seem like it, because you always.
That's how you know it's a real passion.
Yeah, it is.
Because when you're really passionate about something, I don't care how much pain you endure, you can't give it up. Yeah. That's how I know I love this shit, because there's a lot of stress that comes with dealing with people. Sure. It's stress dealing with one person.
Yeah.
Getting to know one person. That's true. Imagine, do you know the amount of people I've had to get to know running communities? My first community, and most of my communities were free. That means there was a lot of people joining. There wasn't no vetting or making sure you get the right members. I was literally trying to help everybody. Yeah. So I'm getting to know all types of people from all walks of life. They all got their own personalities, and I'm playing mediator. Yeah. So whenever people get into shit,
because they're interacting with each other.
When people start interacting and they get comfortable, it's inevitably gonna be some drama. You're gonna have the element of people start liking each other. Now you got like people hitting on this person, this person with that person. Now you get all that type of drama. And so then you lose sight of, okay, why are we here? Yeah. Let's stay focused. You know what I mean? So people are generally like undisciplined, so you have to like keep them focused.
So that's usually what exhausts you sometimes with building community.
Yeah, it's like draining. I've had to find the balance between helping the community, helping
Mhm.
the people in the community without draining myself.
Right.
Because I can't show up for every single person in a community. I'm only one person.
Yeah.
So it's my job as a community leader to provide a platform or a space where you can comfortably meet people and we can all move to some common vision or goal. That's what every community is about.
Right.
So,
Do you feel like?
but to answer the
Oh yeah.
question about like, have I ever felt like giving up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. How many times that happened?
Okay, so the Yávé Music Co-op is my 6th online community.
Okay.
So the progression, I remember the progression was the first, and then shortly after, I would say maybe 20, what was that? Maybe 2010. Yeah. So 2 years later, I started my second community, but I didn't stop the progression immediately. I had 2 communities. I had the world community online with the progression, but then I had GDC, which was my localized college community, and I was focusing on the incoming freshmen and getting them acclimated to college life. So,
oh, nice.
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know you did that.
So what happened was when I started the college community, I prioritized this new idea, this local community, and then the people in the progression was kind of getting jealous. They was like, "Oh, you switching up? Oh, you doing the blue stuff?" Because
you're bending us.
the progression was purple,
Okay.
right? And then the GDC movement was more as like a blue tone, like a blue color. So they was like making jokes. Oh, you rocking blue now? You ain't on the purple side no more. So I remember it was like this weird transition where I didn't stop the progression, but I did
You were
GDC.
kind of ghosting them,
and
so
then
you
that's
were
really
ghosting your community.
so like I was trying not to ghost them, but I had to operate in like where I was at the time, which was I was in college. Yeah. And I was famous on campus.
Yeah.
So
I've seen the videos
same
on YouTube.
so look, the same way I caught the attention of people online through my music, I caught the attention of my university the same way. They looked at me as the entertainer. Yes. So what did I do? I became famous. They wanted me to show up and just be the famous school spirit guy and perform and do all that type of stuff and just help, amp up the excitement. Yeah. I did the same thing I did with the progression. Once I saw I had influence on campus, I said community. And I was on Facebook in these incoming freshman groups, and I was talking to a bunch of these incoming freshmen going into, I think it was 2010. Okay. So I ended up building a online collective with that incoming class of freshmen, and by the time they got to campus, they all knew each other because of me. We had created a community. I let them kind of name it. It was called the Get Down Crew. Okay. It came through like organic, fun conversation. That's cool. I created a logo for it and gave them something they could be part of so that they could be comfortable. So what happened is I prioritized that over the one I was already doing, and it kind of created, like my first community basically kind of fizzled away a little bit. And I was trying to keep it alive, but I couldn't. GDC fizzled away because it was a college movement, right? And I eventually graduated. Exactly. So about 3 years later, I didn't have it.
That would have been great if they would have kept that, like have like almost like a program or something, so the next person, whoever you think would have been a great person to keep it going. Yeah. So that's something that they need, especially college students when they go to college. Getting to know other people. Oh yeah. Before they even start, kind of makes the transition easy. Yep. For the young.
It made them get involved quicker. Because a lot of college students struggle with that, where they can't find their place on campus. They just show up. It's just a big old, and you in the city too, Georgia State, basically downtown Atlanta. So
that's great. I wonder if other colleges do stuff like that. I don't even know.
Nah, I think I always say I feel like I'm the first to do a lot of that type of stuff at any college. It was unique. So after that, it was the standard. So in those two, I never felt like I want to quit. I'm trying to get to that point.
So the progression and then the GDC.
Yeah, those two, they just kind of organically fizzled away due to like just changes in my life.
That was your first communities too. Yeah. So it's like, you probably didn't know, especially with the progression, you probably didn't know how to handle it really.
Yeah, so I was young and I was dealing with drama in the progression.
And you were still in college.
Yep, and then GDC, it was a little drama and stuff happening there too. And a lot of people didn't understand us on campus. They would see like a large group of young people together and they thought we was rowdy. Oh. They described us as like the rowdy kids that don't know how to act in public. Wow. That's how you view because when community come together, you're loud. Right. The energy is heightened. Together, you know what I mean? That's nothing bad about that, but we're taught that quietness is respectful. And if you're too loud, you're disturbing the peace. Yeah. What peace? Whose fucking peace?
Right.
That shit is annoying. It's like we can't collectively
we
do
just
something.
talking, right? We just together.
Yeah.
We
Get
just
to know what the
interacting.
noise is about
Yes, like
instead of judging it from a
right. There's no
distance.
fighting. There's
Nah,
nobody's cursing each other out.
man, we
Right,
was bringing joy to the fucking
right.
campus. Like everybody, it was people that worked at the school, loved it. Like everybody was, because they loved
Well,
me.
yeah.
My thing is, I ain't never want everybody just having their eyes on me and loving me. Like I know I'm a lovable person, but I'm not here just to be idolized, and so
Right,
I can say, yeah, everybody love me. I'm trying to spread the light.
right. Everybody
I want
can. Yeah,
everybody to get in on this energy, and
yeah,
that's what I feel a true leader is supposed to do.
yeah.
So I never felt like I wanted to stop until recently, because I started the standard after GDC.
Okay.
So the standard was my third community. That was my first songwriting competition.
All right.
It was a lot of drama in that too,
Okay.
which that one caused the most weight on me.
Mm,
It was like real issues with people, and it was a lot of egos, and including
gosh.
myself. So
Yeah.
um, when I stopped that, it was due to life circumstances. I just couldn't do it because I wasn't charging.
Mm.
I was doing it for free, and I wasn't.
Oh yeah. So it was a lot of people. It was like a gang of people in the standard.
Yeah, a lot of
Okay.
artists signing up to compete, and I had to. It was a system. That was my first community where it was a real system in place where I had to write a lot of rules
Yeah.
and
It
stuff
was
like that.
structured a certain
It
way.
was very structured. It was a well-oiled machine, and undeniably valuable, but nobody was having to pay. So when I stopped it, it was due to
No.
life, not because I wanted to quit. The one after that, it didn't really last that long, so I didn't want to quit then. So this is like 2020 now. So where we at? That's about 2008 to 2020. That's 12 years. I still didn't feel the need to quit.
Okay.
Um, what was the one after Gene Core? After Gene Core, I think it was the Wave. Because what's that, 4? Yeah. Yeah, the Wave movement was the 5th.
GDC standard Gene Core
Yeah, and then the Wave movement,
5. Okay.
that was when you joined.
Yes.
The Wave movement
And
went
how long you had? Hold on. How long did you start the wave before I? Because I joined in 2023.
23.
Yeah,
It was
2023.
late
So
23.
when did you start the wave?
Well, the Wave, the Wave itself just started as a individual thing that I was doing when I would go live in 2018. I was doing live cookups. So this is when I stopped the standard.
Yeah.
And I was trying to put more focus on myself.
Right. Just do your own music, your own. Okay. Yeah.
Because I needed to figure my life out and how I was gonna make money. I was at that point in my life where I had to really build myself up. So I was doing live cookups, and Facebook had introduced the new feature where you could wave at people with the emoji when you go live.
Yeah.
So I used to hit the wave, and then I used to be, I'm goofy and shit. I was on wave.
Extra.
I would say it out loud like wave,
Right.
wave, and I used to wave at the camera. So I kept doing that, and people, they were just, it just turned into a little catchy thing where they knew the wave.
Yeah.
And then I took a wave selfie, just me with the phone, and I just waved.
Yeah.
And then all my followers at that time that were following the cookups, they started sending me wave selfies from all over the world. See, so we still on this world unity shit.
Yes.
I told you I'm on this fucking bring the people together shit. So I'm seeing it, of course. I'm like, okay, this is a thing. Then I turned it into a hashtag. So hashtag wave. And I started putting out wave collages. But it was never an official community. This was just a thing that I had created.
Starting in 2018.
Yeah. And then it went from the internet stuff, like taking selfies, to then when I would go outside, then I would just be random places. I would just ask random people to take a wave picture with me, and I would explain to them what the movement is about.
So that's before you had, that's just before you had a community online. Or did you already have like a page set up for the wave?
No, I never had a page for the wave.
So it was just you telling them what you're doing.
Yeah, the wave was just my idea that I was just kind of individually doing with people and letting people get in on it through just simple pictures, and then I would post it.
All right, so there was no membership, no nothing yet. Okay.
I didn't even know the wave was gonna be like a membership thing. That was never the goal.
Gotcha.
That was just supposed to be my catchy thing, and it just organically became something like an activity that we could use to spread love and bring people together using the internet.
Right, and that started here, correct, in Georgia?
Yeah, it was in Covington, Georgia, specifically. When I was living in Covington. That's when I first started waving and going outside, waving with people and telling the story of who I'm meeting. So that's how that whole concept came about. And then...
Yeah, because when did it transition to the actual...
like the paid community?
Yeah, like when did you say, okay, I'm going to create this community, I'm going to get members. and I'm going to make it an actual community where people can interact, where we can meet up and do
Mm,
things like that. Like, when did you?
that happened when I moved back to Atlanta from Florida.
Okay.
Because when I was in
Yeah.
Florida, I was outside with the wave heavy.
Yes,
I
that's
was
true. So you
famous in
were doing
Central
it,
Florida.
okay, but you still didn't create anything for
No,
that.
I didn't have
You were
no.
just the wave guy in
Again,
Florida.
again,
Okay.
see,
Yep.
it's the same thing. How I started in
Yeah.
2018. It was my thing
Yeah.
that I was sharing with people. So I still wasn't thinking to make it a official community
Yeah.
to join until I got back home and I had to start thinking about this stable life again and how to really generate money. And I had to really assess, okay, I've been selling graphics and selling my creativity, but the community thing is the thing that I've always done.
Yeah.
From the moment I started in 2008, always had a community that I was building. Never went that long without having one. And it takes a lot of time. That's why I could never fully individually capitalize, because it takes a lot of time running a community.
It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, takes a
Yeah.
lot of patience with people.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. So I can see that.
It's
Talking to
like
people all
it's
the
like being
time.
in a marriage.
Right.
But I'm married to the community.
Right. So everybody. It's like
Yes,
you
I'm
gotta,
married to
yeah.
about however many people in that community. I'm married to all of them. I got to keep showing up for them. I got to pour into them. I have to make the experience valuable for them.
Right. You got to listen to suggestions,
Mm-hmm.
people's grievances, whatever's going on, whatever they got going on in their life.
And I'm expected not to quit.
Yeah.
I can't quit on it, just like you're not expected to quit on a marriage.
Yeah.
So that's why when I came back home, I had to really assess, okay, how can I monetize my community idea? Because I tried it in Florida. It was a community called Aotasphere. This is when my name was Alexander Aota.
Okay.
So for a very short time, I was using my Patreon to get paid members into Aotasphere. That was my first time charging.
Aotasphere. Okay.
Yeah.
So really it was you were doing the wave, but the wave was not a community yet.
Right.
But in between that,
at the same time I was doing the wave,
you created that.
I created Aotasphere as a paid community that people could join. If they like what I'm doing with the wave, I'm like, okay, let me create a paid space where you could be part of that energy.
And that's when you came back.
No, I was still in Florida.
Still in Florida. Okay.
This was 2022.
Okay.
That's when I first started charging.
Okay.
Because I went through a lot of shit in Florida.
Yeah.
And I was struggling. And I remember I had quit both of my jobs. I was fresh out of a breakup.
Yeah.
So I'm in the apartment by myself and I'm like, I gotta make money. I don't have a job.
Right.
I gotta pay these bills in this apartment.
Yeah.
And I don't know nobody. I ain't got no family here. Ain't no running back home to mommy and daddy. Nope, you figure it out. So I was like, the survival instinct came in and I'm like, what do I do the most? Build community. Okay, charge for that.
Yeah.
And I just had to go. I had to jump into it. And a lot of people, they didn't understand it. They thought I was scamming in Florida.
Because they were asking why they were
like,
paying.
what am I paying for?
Right. Like, what am I getting? What's
Right.
happening here? Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean what you getting? You see what I like? People don't understand the value of community. That's sad.
It's kind of like, give it time. It's like, this is the start. This is the beginning. But over time, you're going to see the value. You're going to see what's happening. Like, why are you paying for it? You know, because if you include people in everything you do, like you said, or you network with people, or other people network with others, the money can be for anything. It could be for somebody in the community needs help with something. You know what I mean? It's to help each other.
Come on.
Whatever
And you know what
is.
that's a good point you just made, babe, because when you pay to be part of a community, you don't get to just sit back and receive the value from the community. Because you get what you put into a community.
Exactly.
So you're paying to have access because that's the value. Somebody has to build it. Somebody has to organize it. I'm the organizer. So I need a payment for all the work that it takes to really make this community legitimate and organized and a regular thing.
And it's your time too. It's your time. It's everything you do. It's you going out there to see people. It's transportation.
Yes.
It's, whatever you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Transportation, eating out, meeting up with people, even purchasing their things, like supporting their businesses.
I do that a lot.
Businesses. I know
you saw I was doing that in the wave, baby. You seen
that.
So
people
you seen
really,
that.
This is the world we live in anyway. We need to make money somehow. But this is never your main goal. It's never been like your focus. Oh, I just need to make money.
Nah.
Your focus is community, and we can all help each other. So I just, that's why I wanted to talk about that now, because I want people to know that it is very valuable, and we should do that anyway. Like, in general, people should be And it's almost like teaching people how not to always have their guards up, put a wall up, and just be more open to like meeting new people. Because nowadays people are kind of scared,
They are.
don't want to have no new,
They've been
new
scared for a
friends.
long time.
It's because true. Sometimes it's scary out there, but you got to put yourself out there.
It's like people they put the worst case scenario
Yes.
in their mind about what could happen when you deal with a stranger.
But don't think about
But
what's the
you don't
greatest
think
thing that could happen.
everybody looks at the stranger as a potential threat
Mhm.
because what do you teach kids? Don't talk to
Right.
strangers.
Stranger danger.
So from the time we little, we learning how not to be part of
Yeah.
communities. So that's why this is hard to
And
set.
selfishness, and people are very selfish. A lot
It's
of
hard to
times.
rewire the mind once you
Yeah,
like
it
get
is.
conditioned to be a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
I have to uncondition people. They got to see, okay, this is valuable and this is a capitalist world.
Yeah.
And it matters where you put your money. So you have to, we need to put money behind community minds. This is the future. Because this is the internet. It's about social media. It's about people connecting. Mm-hmm. And I've always used it to really build real relationships with people.
Yeah. I think people should definitely see the value in it. And like we always say, it takes a village, right? People usually talk about that about kids.
Come on now.
But it's like we grow
where the
but
village
we still
at?
need a village.
But what? See what I'm saying?
We still need it. Like,
and I be saying this a lot.
Yeah.
It take a village to raise a child, but our villages suck. Our villages are ass and a whole lot of trash. As soon as
that kid grows, scattered, everybody's doing their own thing. Nobody cares. Like, oh, you grown now.
Most neighborhoods you go in, most neighborhoods you live in, you don't, like if it's a subdivision, man, every street in that community, if there's a strong community being built, everybody should, all the neighbors should know each other. Everybody that live on the same street, in the same block.
Right. You know how they have these, what do you call, like the neighborhood, meeting or whatever.
Come on now.
It's like you should, every time you got a new resident, everybody welcome the new resident to the neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. They're from here, they're from there, they got these kids. But it's
it ain't
not
like that right now.
It's really
our
not.
Communities are ass. We don't trust our neighbors. You could be living next to a crazy person you don't even know. Because you ain't even talked to them. You don't know them.
No, you don't. And that's where the fear comes to.
Exactly.
It's kind of like, hey, I don't know who this person is. I don't even want to find out because I don't know who. And they could very well be.
Yeah. Because there are sick people. I ain't gonna act like it ain't.
Right, they're everywhere.
But we can't use our trauma to keep us from doing what we know we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be connecting.
Exactly. But this is why building a community is different. Because it's different than me sitting at home and just going to this neighbor's house I don't know, right? And just, hey,
right.
Like, that's kind of, it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But building a community, you already talk to those people. Everybody knows everybody. So you can't really do anything flawed if everybody is connected. Everybody knows you.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen you. You're active or whatever. So whatever you do, we're going to keep you accountable. So if you do some, flaw shit, then you got to go.
Mm-hmm. You used the word I was about to say, baby, because I was about to say accountability, baby, because that's the main thing a community does is it holds you accountable. Yeah. You ever heard people say they need an accountability partner?
Yep.
Yeah, you should
Especially
pay.
When they work out.
That's worth money. Yeah. That's worth money. It's stuff that people need that they feel like they shouldn't pay for.
Yeah.
It's certain things, they say like the best things in life are free. Why? Mm-hmm. So the best things in life are free. But the bullshit is not. The bullshit we pay. We ready to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for material shit, for shit that's gonna fucking depreciate, stuff that's not gonna mean nothing when you fucking die.
Nothing at all.
But you gonna spend a bunch of money for that. No question that this is worth this money. But then you don't want to pay for the thing that can literally create generational wealth.
Simple. It's all about love.
It can literally give your kids something safe to come up in.
Yeah.
Not even about money.
Yeah.
Because wealth is really in lifestyle. This shit adds to the quality of life. I've had people tell me like in my first community, one of my first members said she was suicidal at the time. She was going to kill herself. And then she met me. Yeah. And then she joined the progression and she felt like it was something worth living for.
Yeah, because she was connecting with other people.
So
me and her alone, right?
Me and her are connected for life. Shout out to Jess. Her name is Jessica.
Okay.
She will forever be somebody that's like a real life testimony of the power of community. Yeah. I didn't give that girl no money. Yeah. I just gave her a space where she could feel loved. Right. I made her feel seen. Yep. And it was genuine.
Yes.
I ain't want nothing from her. I just gave her a place. that she could be
And that's
acknowledged
all
and
it
make
takes.
friends and
Yeah.
feel like she's not alone in this world.
And that's all it takes.
That's it.
Yeah. That's all it takes. I just wish people would, when people cry for help, because I'm, like I'm very empathic to people and to their situations because I know I've been through a lot. So when I hear like it triggers me, and I just want to help people.
Yep.
Which I've toned down now, obviously, because you also gotta protect your energy. Sometimes when it's too much, you gotta kind of protect your energy.
Yep.
But I wish people wouldn't be scared. So I see a lot of people online, like crying for help or needing help, but they really don't, follow through with it. They just say it, and I understand, social media is a platform where people want to vent and just express themselves and just kind of like just vent and just dump it all out, but don't really want a rebuttal from anybody, don't want no feedback, don't want nothing.
And that's the part they
But
need.
yes,
and that's what
they
community
do.
is.
Yep.
So
And they do.
everybody wants an audience, but they don't want the community connection
Right,
because
too.
we don't know what that's like. We run from that. That's sick.
It's like, why?
We run from the thing.
Always like,
how the fuck we running from the one thing we need the most?
Right. You out there talking to people.
That right.
Right.
So you're seeking the community
right.
support.
So
that's why
they're gonna respond to
come
you.
on now.
Like that if you say something about whatever you're going
that's
through,
the whole reason you saying something, because you deep down you want some help. You want the people to be with you.
Accept it, because I was one that never wanted to get help when I was younger. No, I was very hard-headed, very stubborn, and it put me in a lot of bad situations. Like I can admit that I could never lie about the bad decisions I made because I didn't want to ask for help because I didn't want to seem, vulnerable or weak. A lot of people think that I don't want to ask for help because I got it, but you don't got it, and it's okay to have help from other people. It doesn't have to be monetary. It could just be somebody to listen to you. It could be, the person giving you suggestion that you probably never thought about.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's it's number one on the priority list.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
Community, village, whatever you want to call it.
It all go back to that. Because if we're not there to do that, then what else are we doing?
Yeah.
What else are we fucking doing? Like humans are great because of the great communities and tribes that have been on the planet before us. All these wonders of the world that's been built, communities built that shit. And wasn't no one person building all that. You got to have a large collective of people to do that type of stuff.
Exactly.
So
it takes a lot of, and I always say that 2 heads always better than 1.
Yeah.
And many other heads is better than 2. So however you want to multiply it, it just gets better and better the more people add on to the idea.
So to get back to quitting.
Yeah.
I didn't want to quit until the wave ended.
So what is it? Aotis?
Aotosphere was in
Aotosphere,
Florida.
Okay.
That I might have had, how many people joined Aotosphere? It was probably no more than, it wasn't even 20. It might have been 10.
Okay.
10 to 15 people paid. So that made me realize, okay, there are people that will pay to be part of a community. It showed me it was possible.
Yes.
But I didn't have the lifestyle at the time where I could sit at a computer and really manage it online, because my style of community is all online based first. So I have to spend a lot of time on the phone and the computer making it run.
Oh, that's right, because you were in Florida and you wasn't stable.
I was in Florida, I wasn't stable, and I was outside vlogging and waving with motherfuckers.
Yes.
And I was outside in them streets. Yeah, so I couldn't sit in front of no motherfucking computer and really build the community the way I really needed to.
Yeah.
So that thing just kind of fizzled away.
You did a lot of footwork.
Yeah, I was outside by myself, really figuring out who I was in Florida.
Right.
I really needed to show myself, am I really who I think I am? And I showed myself I am, like in Florida, because I'm down there, didn't know anybody. And I ended up touching those people the same way I was touching the people in my first community at college. Like I really still was kind of doubting myself.
I love that about you, and I said that to you when I went on your YouTube and seen everything you've done from even high school. I think that's the first thing I seen was your graduation in high school and how you performed for your high school graduation class.
Yep.
And then boom, college, constantly doing the GSU theme music and being in all the games. And I was like, okay, he's always been a community person. He always loved the people. You're very consistent with how you love to interact with people, support, help, bring people together, entertain, whatever you do. Like,
it's a real passion.
So you've always been consistent. And it's really hard. Number one, it's not, you don't have the opportunity to watch people, right? Because you've vlogged a lot, you've recorded a lot of stuff. A lot of people don't do that, right?
Right.
So it's very hard, like when you meet someone, to be able to say, okay, is this person really who they say they are? There's nothing for you to go and watch and like really kind of like confirm that, right? like kind of ease your doubts or whatever that you have about someone that you just meet. But with me, when I did that, I was just like, I was like, he's an interesting person. Let me go on his YouTube and see. And I did. Like, I got sucked in,
Oh yeah,
because you did a lot of
it's a
stuff.
lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. You were very open. You always were a like the person that wears their, what is it,
Heart on
their
their
heart of their
sleeve.
sleeves.
Yeah,
You know,
on
you
camera
were,
in front of the world,
yeah, you
just
always,
bearing my soul.
exactly. So that's why I asked you, like, you ever felt that you wanted to quit, because it
Yeah.
seems like you were always sure of yourself, very confident in what you did,
Only
and you
time
were
I
very
wanted to quit,
consistent.
like I said, was so Aotosphere
Hmm.
had like that was a short time, and then for the rest of the time in Florida, I was just outside by myself doing the wave and trying to figure out a way to monetize that through
Yeah.
sponsorships and trying to just make it work. So it had a little bit of success. I was able to make some money, but I
Mm.
ran into a lot of obstacles and jealousy, and I actually had a very good opportunity to change that whole region. If
Mm.
people would have really got behind me, like the the government entities
Hmm.
and just the people that actually had influence, the business owners,
Yeah.
if they all would have really got behind me, I could have really did a lot
Yeah.
for that community. But see what I'm saying? Like we're in a competitive world where people they look at people as a threat. So people were looking at me as a threat because I was
Mm.
coming in. I found a way to monetize what I was doing. So then they was questioning, was the community thing genuine? Because oh, why are you charging people for sponsorships? So
Mm.
that's the touchy part about selling something that people think should be free, because now they think it's not genuine anymore. But I got to make a living.
Mm. Right.
So I moved back from Florida after going through all that stuff, and then I started the wave movement, and I did the paid model again because
Yeah.
remember you paid $5 a
Yes.
month.
Okay. So yeah, that's when you started the
So
wave.
that was
Okay.
like what 20. It was like summertime 2023 is when I started the wave movement,
Okay.
and I started bringing in paid members.
Ah.
So I'm bringing the paid members in, and then by year number one, you pretty much witnessed what happened. It,
Yeah.
it got rocky. It was a
Yeah.
lot of the same drama that I was dealing with from my first community when it was early 20s and teenagers.
Yes.
It was still that type of like divide that I was feeling where everybody wasn't on the same page.
Yeah.
People were not getting along. I wasn't really
Yeah.
it
It's like
felt like I
everybody
was
had their own
wasting my
agenda.
time. Even
Yeah.
though I was getting paid from some of the people. That's another thing. With the wave, I wasn't charging everybody.
Mm.
Because when you're doing a humanitarian idea, sometimes it's like you don't want to play the the capitalist role where like a
Hmm.
landlord will literally evict you if you're not paying.
Yeah.
If you late on rent and you're not paid up,
Hmm.
you don't have a place to live.
Right.
I didn't want to treat people like that in a way.
Yeah.
So even though I was charging people, it was people there that weren't paying, but I was letting them stay.
Okay.
So then again, it got into the point where I felt like I was pouring into people and it was still not creating the environment that I desired. So I really got frustrated and I ended up removing a lot of people. And
Mm.
that was the first time in my life. That was 2024.
Yep, I remember.
That was
I
the
was
first time.
there.
It was summertime 2024.
Yeah.
That was the first time I felt like, you know what? Fuck this community shit, man.
Mm.
Because that's 2008 to 2024. How many years is that?
2008 to
That's
2024. Oh yeah.
10. If we go to 2018, that's 10, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So, oh, actually, I got a song called 15.
Yep. I know that song.
15 is
Yeah, 15.
it
Yep. That you've
signifies the
been.
15 years that I was building communities, and that's the first time I said, you know what, this shit is it's not worth it. Like I really gave up, and I was gonna just focus on myself.
Yeah. Yep, I remember that happened. And it was a
Yeah.
lot of I guess different minds, different opinions about different things, different agendas
Mm-hmm.
on what they thought the community was about, I guess.
Yep.
So yeah, I think things get lost in translation sometimes, and people just want to do what they want to do, and then they start or cliquish, or it becomes cliquish when
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be cliquish.
You
It's
get
a
a lot
community.
of
There's
like
yeah, and
gossip.
there's different personalities. Like, you given, granted, it is a bunch of different characteristics,
Yep.
different personality traits. Some people are hyper, some people are cool, some people are chill, some people don't talk too much. Understood, and everybody should be welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should be. But yeah, but I think that's what creates, and usually you need someone to like be like almost a mediator,
Yep.
and you were,
And
you
then
know,
sometimes it's like I
yeah,
build my own relationships with the people that are in my community too.
yes,
So sometimes I find myself in bad
Yeah.
situation. So sometimes
Yeah.
I'm not even playing mediator. It'll be somebody else. You've played
Yeah.
mediator
Yeah.
in situations where I was getting into it or
Others,
having
yeah,
to
had
address
nothing to
things
do
in the
with me, right?
right. So then
But
it just felt like it was a waste of time. So I was done in 2024.
yeah, yeah,
I shaved my head
yeah,
July 31st. That was a part of this just shedding this dream because I was like, I told you since the age of 21 in 2008, I really had this dream to change the world. I
yeah.
felt like I could really do that. I felt like I possessed the energy to bring enough people together. I got enough love in me and enough people admire me. I got this talent. So I'm like, if I can get people to follow me, then I can get them to come together and like care about
Yeah.
humans. That's been the struggle is like, can I get people to think like me? Can I get you to love each other the way I love everybody?
It's a hard thing to do,
And it's
right?
like I
It's a
can't.
very hard thing to do.
Because it's like most
We,
people, they prioritize money because they want to survive. So even in the wave, it was a lot of people there that just wanted to network. And
yeah,
I'm like,
like
no, I'm not. I'm
entrepreneurs,
not
yeah,
building
stuff like that.
communities for networking.
Right, right,
Like it was
right.
annoying.
It's not focused on one thing exactly.
So yeah, it just got frustrating. It's like, man, people want to come to a community and use it for what they want instead of understanding what this shit really is about and respecting the vision
Right,
and really, giving a damn about it.
right.
A lot of people got to be on the same page in order to do that. And I just gave up on the idea that I could get a real large collective of people to understand that. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do what everybody been telling me to do. Let me just focus on my music. Let me make money off my talent, and then if I can build a collective afterwards, then I'll revisit it.
Yeah.
So it literally only took, let's say August, because I shaved my head July 31st. So I started doing my cookups again, maybe August, September. When did I start the YMC? October.
Right.
I started working on the YMC in October.
And as soon as you thought of that idea, you were like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
And the
Boom.
YMC came about because I was just gonna sell my instrumentals on my Patreon. It was really just supposed to be giving people access to my music.
Music and selling it. Yeah.
That's it. And then as soon as I started doing that, I said, like I always do, how can I include other people and make this idea bigger than me?
Yeah.
And then so it only took a few months for me to get over the whole I'm done with this shit.
Yeah.
Because I ain't never gonna be done.
It, right.
I'm never gonna be done with it.
It was like, okay, next. Let me see how else I can do that to make it, to make it something that's a bit easier to connect people with each other. And like you said, music.
Yeah, so yeah, I think I got the right system now where it can be beneficial for me. I don't have to connect with everybody. It just got a certain people that I can connect to and just build it slowly. That's it. The people that understand the value of it, they invest.
Right.
And at this point, I don't feel like I'll ever have to start over. So the wave movement is still a thing. I'm not promoting it heavy, but it's still going to be something that people can join for free now.
Yes.
That's my free community. And then the YMC is my paid community, which is the thing I really want to focus on because we need, like I said, we need investment. That's important. People got to invest in community.
Yes.
If we don't invest in it, then it's not going to grow in the capitalist world. You have to invest in something for it to work because that money is controlling shit, whether we like it or not.
This is the world we live in right now. This is the
move the money different.
Yeah.
Everybody talk about change. You got to change the spirit behind the money.
You spend your money, yeah.
Spend the money with a good heart. Don't spend the money with selfish intent or spend the money to control somebody to get something from them. No, spend it in the right place.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, it's like
change the energy behind the shit.
Right. Invest in something that's meaningful.
Yeah.
That's gonna be lasting. Actually, you're always gonna get something out of it continuously.
Come on now.
With people.
Come on now. Yes. Every day of your life. That's what I'm trying to add value to your life every day.
I think it's hard sometimes for people because they don't have a lot of support growing up too. Like I feel like like the way their mind is set up, it's also based on background and how they were raised. And how would you say your parents? Because that was going to be my next thing. Okay. Well, we can talk about it next time too. But I was going to say how your parents have been, like, how did they react or how did they support you when they found out that was your passion? When they realized, oh, like that's what he does. Like like I'm interested in knowing like what was their first reaction to it? Were they doubtful? Did they think that was something that was going to be good for you? Did they think it was just a hobby?
Right.
And that changes because you were raised by both your parents. You were there. They were very loving. So yeah. Very supportive.
And they're the reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing now and even monetize it because they gave me the space to do it.
Yes, they did. They weren't like most parents.
Yeah. And I remember even with the first community, they were able to meet some of the people
Oh,
in the
nice.
progression.
Okay.
And again, I told you this was an online community, and
Yeah.
then like some of them happened to live in my local area. So
Okay.
it went from just having online relationships to now like these people are meeting up with me. And I remember the first time I was doing progression meetups, it made it a real thing.
Okay.
Like me and a few
Yes.
members, we met at Grant Park
Okay.
and recorded a progression video together, and we was able to show that to the community, and it was like it made it more real for them. Like, oh damn, these are the people I be chatting online with, and they meeting up.
Yeah.
Oh, so we could really do this shit.
Yeah.
So my dad, he's always been more into technology than my mom. So my mom has always been super supportive.
Yeah.
But she doesn't see it as much as my dad does because she's not online like really seeing it.
Yeah.
My dad, I remember even in the progression, he was actually part of the Facebook group during like one of the times where I was having to mediate and like check people and the behavior in the community. I remember he kind of chimed in too.
Okay,
like
nice.
He spoke to the community and kind of was trying to get people to understand the value of it and to keep it, focused on what we're trying to build. So I think both of them have always seen that I'm doing something important.
That's good.
It's just my dad sees it more often. So even now, my dad has to show my mom like what I'm doing online because she is not getting on no social media. I don't care, like she's not trying to see nothing going on online, but she definitely is aware of like how special it is and like how influential of a person I am.
Yeah. That's
so
great.
Yeah, they both
you got some great parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that. So that is one thing you have that I think helps with wanting that, like wanting to build communities and kind of, because you've had a loving supportive home. So why wouldn't you want everybody to be like that? Especially people that don't have that or didn't grow up with that. It's kind of like, hey, you didn't have that, make it a big family. That's why, like we were saying, the village thing. You don't have your own family, you don't have a very close knit family, you don't have support, then come here.
Yep.
And then you can have all of that here. And maybe you can't click with everybody sometimes, it's okay. Like you don't have to get along with everybody, but you also don't have to fight with everybody.
You know what?
You know
what? And this would be a great place to end the convo.
Yeah.
Hold on, don't. Because I'm like, that just really made me think about the reason I started doing communities. Like I was really thinking for a while that maybe I was building communities and wanting to help so many people because I didn't grow up around my whole family.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they grow up around their extended family. They have a village. Like they have like their aunts, their grandparents. Like I didn't grow up around that.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out, why am I so passionate about
That's what I was asking. I was trying to get to that.
So like, why am I so passionate about bringing everybody together? So I was thinking that I was doing it maybe from a place of like, I lacked the village. So maybe I wanted to build my own bigger village since I didn't have that big family experience. But what you just said kind of like put it into perspective, because when I was growing up, I didn't feel like I was lacking something.
Yeah. You didn't feel lonely.
I didn't feel lonely. I didn't feel, damn, I wish I was around my extended family. So what you just said about maybe I wanted to provide something that I had.
Yeah.
I had the support of my parents.
Yeah.
And I had that safe space to.
You just wanted to make it bigger.
So I'm like, if I got a safe space to be creative, and I got all this time on my hand to connect with people, then I almost felt obligated. Because I'm lucky. A lot of people, like you said, they don't have a home where they're stable and they can just focus on their creativity.
It's calm and it's chill, and they can actually stay there for as long as they want and build and
that
plan their life ahead of time.
I ain't gonna lie, that's why this shit is called intimate intimate time with Yávé, because I've never thought of it like that.
Wow.
I never thought that I was building community out of wanting to give people what I had.
Yeah.
And it makes me, not that I didn't appreciate my parents before, but it makes me me not look at the community thing like I was doing it out of a lacking thing.
Right. No, I don't look at it like that.
I wasn't feeling lacking. I wasn't lacking.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. It's been times where I said I wished I, had more time around my extended family, but for the most part, that ain't really how I was feeling growing up. Yeah. And I wasn't feeling that way going into building the communities. It's just something that I felt I wanted to give people.
For people, yeah.
Because I seen, when you talk to people, you hear the trauma. You hear the stories of people and their family situations or whatever the fuck they got going on. I'm listening to this shit and I'm like, I don't go through that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've been a safe space for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, damn,
Yeah.
that shit deep.
Something to think about.
That shit deep.
That's right. Well, you want to wrap it up, man? We can.
Yeah.
And we can
Did you
continue.
have like a? See, that could have been a segue, but I'm glad I answered it on this
Well,
video.
because that's what I
I
was.
kind of like to I like to end it if you wanted to ask something, and then we just get to it the next time. Did you have
Oh
anything
yeah.
else you wanted to ask? And then
Um,
I'll,
since we talked about that, about the
yeah.
well, I did want to know, because I know one time we were talking,
Mm-hmm.
and you were talking about something about being perfect as a stage performer, and how this is why
Mm-hmm.
you don't really want to do stage performance no more, because you kind of value the imperfections. Like, you want people to see the imperfections also, because nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
you're not going to be a perfect artist or
Right.
anything, and you wanted to do something that was going to show all of your imperfections,
Mm-hmm.
just to remind people that, we're still humans, like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be this, you don't have to be this big, superstar. You don't have to, even though, some people have that vision that they want to do it, and then eventually over time through life they get defeated because it never happens, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then they lose their spark, they lose that fire that they had. A lot of people with music, with me with writing, even though I didn't think writing was gonna make me famous,
Yeah.
but that was my, that was my
It's your
thing. I
outlet.
loved it, right? That was my outlet.
Mm-hmm.
So, but life beats you down so much.
Yep.
You're like, I can't do that, because if I can't do it the same way that I want to do it, then I'm not going to do it at all. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
going to stop. So I did want to talk about, um, when that came to your mind that you didn't want to do stage performance because you love music, but
Yep.
when did it kind of switch for you, when you said, I mean, I love music, but I don't have to be a rapper. I don't have to be a hip hop artist and
Okay.
be famous,
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Tune in next
when,
time,
okay.
because we're gonna dive into that,
Exactly.
baby.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Damn, this was good.
I love it.
Damn, I like that shit.
All right.